Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoe Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome back and welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to The Local Show with Tom and Steve. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend, and at least we don't have 20 feet of snow. I was talking to some support people because I have this brand new, computer, because I thought, well, let's spare no expense. I don't want the tools to get in my way of being creative. So, I spent like $5,000 on this dang thing, and it's been in the shop 110 times.
Oh my gosh.
It's, well, it is supposed to be high end, and, I'm picky. I don't know. But I've had to have it in and out. So when I'm talking to all these support people, they're like in Oklahoma or down in Florida.
They're in this country?
They're in the war. Yeah, I'm actually talking to stateside people.
Okay, that's not great.
But it was just interesting about the weather and the differences in weather and what people conceive as being cold and all that stuff.
Right, when we were away, we're like, where are you from? We're from New York. Oh, New York. And they think New York City.
Yeah,
nobody thinks New York is New York City. Right. And you try to explain, no, we got 128 inches of snow. they don't. So.
Yeah, lots of, but hey, we've been spared, compared to Buffalo.
Let's be spared. I'm fine. Spare away.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit about, people are looking for Christmas gifts right now, and pictures are on everybody's mind. And we had the gal from Michelle, right?
Yeah,
from
Michelle.
Industrial Color Labs. Wonderful surfaces that they have. And I think people, since they're not developing film as much anymore, you forget about them. Right?
Yeah, remember years ago it was like Industrial Color Labs. Remember the jingle? You hear it all the time.
Sure.
And now people have, and then their head.
Hank Vomar was on the big billboard.
Yeah, and all the women had big hair.
Yeah,
and I had hair. But they are doing their thing.
Yeah.
And we were just chatting that photos make amazing gifts.
Yeah, they do.
But they're out at Linden Corners, and they're downtown across from what used to be DeGiulio's Army Navy store, right?
Mm-hmm. Burnett Ave.
They're still archiving, the old videos, and maybe you got VHS tapes or
8mm,
whatever they are, or the old ones. They're doing those things. But what an amazing place for a gift. I mean, think about it? You get a piece of clothing, you get something, and then you get a picture or a nice photo in a frame. You know, how wonderful is that? Or maybe your phone's loaded with photos and you want them off of there.
Right.
They do all that stuff and people just forget about them.
And they can do that photo retouching too. So if you have old, physical picture, they can get it into Photoshop, do it all professionally.
Absolutely.
And make it look good.
But don't forget them. They're out there at Linden Corners, and then they're downtown 449-1155. Maybe you have questions. 449. Did I say that first name? 449-1155. And go see our friends at Industrial.
Okay, you got it. Right now, it's our pleasure to bring back an old friend of the show. It's Mark Roberts, owner of Staff Leasing PEO. How are you there?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me back.
Good to have you, cousin.
Good to be back, cuz.
No matter where I go, if I mention your name, everybody rolls their eyes. But they in a good way, in an endearing way. Hey, do you know Mark Roberts? Oh, yeah.
I've been around for a few years.
Absolutely. But I feel like a bigwig when I mention your name because, you rub shoulders with a lot of people. Tell us your background. How'd you get into this business?
Oh, well, I worked at WTVH way back when, and then from there was involved with an ad agency with my brother, similar to what you guys are doing, for a number of years. And my father had started Staff Leasing down in Florida, and we were handling the advertising and marketing for them down there. And after seeing their growth, they started in '84. And after seeing their growth, I sat and chatted with my father and his partners about us opening up here.
Right.
So my partner, Tom Boyle, and I, looked at it. And in 1989, so 34 years ago, we opened up, and they were our back room for the first year and a half. And then we took everything over up here and started with a phone, with a desk with a phone with call waiting, and an electric typewriter with one line of memory. Back when the fax machines were the thermal paper that if you kept them for more than 30 days, they would disappear.
So tell us what staff leasing is and what staff leasing is not, in case there's any confusion.
Yes, and I hear that from Steve all the time, the confusion with the name. But, after 34 years of doing this, our name is pretty well known out there. But what we are not a temp service. We are not a placement agency. What we are is what's referred to as a PEO, a professional employer organization, that we go into businesses with anywhere from 1 to 200 employees and co-employ the staff so that they're working for us and for our clients. And by taking and grouping all of these different businesses and employees together, that's giving us the collective buying power to put together a Fortune 500 benefit package to handle all the payroll and all the HR with handbooks and making sure they have the right posters. And so we're their offsite human resource department that allows them to focus and concentrate on their business and giving us the opportunity to take care of all the other stuff. How was that for a brief summary?
That wasn't bad.
That was awesome.
I practiced it a couple of times.
Yeah, very, very eloquently said. Now, I would imagine that with all the changes in government and things, different people get into power, and so different rules come down. So that makes it hard for a small business to navigate. Wouldn't they be better off with somebody like you?
Absolutely. Well, I would think so.
Yeah, I'm just thinking logic.
But
right?
It's amazing when, as I was saying 34 years ago when we started, when we were marketing this and talking to people, it was payroll comp benefits. And the term HR, which back then was probably the personnel department,
right,
the term HR, human resources, was not even coming into play very much. Mm-hmm. But over the number of years that we've been doing it, the rules and regulations, as you were just saying, and different government things getting in power. I mean, now you've got the sexual harassment training that everybody in New York State has to do once a year.
Oh, really?
And update that. And then making sure the posters are changed right. And just when COVID hit and all the rules and regulations, it's amazing. And that's one of the things that we, I may not know how to fix a car, but we certainly know how to make sure that the employees are being properly handled.
Yeah. And that
payroll is done too. So.
Keeps you out of trouble as a business owner, so they're better off with you. Do you think we'll ever get back to the days where you could walk into somebody's office and they would have a scotch and a cigar in the ashtray?
It depends on where you are.
Because I liked those days. I don't know.
I remember those days myself. When I was at the television station, there was probably days like that
and more.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a while ago. But one of the things, with us being able to have the collective buying power, is the benefits. We've got 4 different health plans: 2 dental, life, vision, EAP, Aflac benefits, Liberty Mutual, payroll deducted, homeowner and auto insurance.
Geez, Steve, we ought to be doing business with him. Come on, that sounds good.
Yeah, Tom is
as well as the 401k plans all included in that. And this was the first year in 3 that we had an increase in our medical benefits. So because of our growth and what we've been able to offer, and we're still quite a bit lower than any of the community rates that are out there, substantially.
How many people do you employ?
We've got about 20 internal employees.
Do you look for employees? Are you in need at this time or not?
We're always looking to enhance certain areas. Salespeople is always something that's really good. Mm-hmm. Also, client service is one of the things that we're expanding on too. So
what's the number one reason people bring you on to do all those things versus doing it themselves, or maybe they use a payroll company or something like that?
Yeah, payroll companies are good. They do a certain portion of it, but it's the rest of the stuff. It's, as we were saying, combining everything and having a single source that they can go to that's going to be their benefits manager, their workers' comp manager, their human resource manager, their payroll manager. So instead of having a number of different sources that they're going to all over the place, this is a single source that they can go to and have everything properly handled. Really,
really quickly, Mark, is there a business that's too small for your services, and is there a business that's too big? Where's the sweet spot?
It depends. The small ones, we've got clients with 2 or 3 employees.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right.
And then we've got clients with over 200 employees. So it's a wide range, and it really depends upon their needs.
Okay, that's great. Well, that's Mark Roberts right there, still very active in his business, and I love your demeanor, and people you're probably very approachable. You'll talk to people personally, yeah?
I do all the time.
All right,
he never shuts up. You kidding?
It's getting him to be quiet. That's the trick, right? Owner of Staff Leasing PEO. Thank you so much, and you have a great rest of the day.
Thanks so much.
All right. Coming up next, we're going to talk with Kathy German. She is the Executive Director of New Hope Family Services right here on the Local Show on 570 WSYR.